Hello everyone, hope you're all having a wonderful day, and today I just wanted to go over this low budget Huntress build that pretty much carried me through the whole entire game very easily. I've just hit +2 bosses on maps and we're still breezing through content like a hot knife slides through friggin' butter. So I thought I might as well do a little build video to see if this build can help anyone else that might be struggling with the end game. Now this character isn't in the solo self-found league, but I have been playing softcore solo self-found. Not that I had a friggin' choice, because resources are very hard to come by in this game. Just like Nintendo's game sales, you never friggin' see them. Resources just don't exist at this point. So what I'm saying is my gear is very subpar, so if you've got resources or you're trading, you're probably going to be able to get much more damage and much more defense than what I have. Now this is a Twister build, if you couldn't tell by the clips on screen. I know a lot of other content creators have done Twister Huntress build, so I'm going to try and keep this as short and sweet as possible. Because let's be honest, time is valuable and we certainly aren't all getting any younger, so let's jump straight into it. I will also pop a couple of other Twister builds down in the description and the comment section, so if this build just doesn't tickle your pickle but you still want to use the almighty Twisters, you at least have some other options down there hopefully. So we're going to go over the skills first and then I'll go over the supports. Not going to dwell on them too much. I will dwell on Whirlwind Lance a little bit because I don't really see anyone using Whirlwind Lance. It was bugged, it was crashing everybody's game. Doesn't do that anymore, and it is actually pretty decent. So we're not using Ray Shield, we're not using Spear Throw, we're not using Spear Stab, we're using Whirling Slash, we're definitely using Twisters, we're using Whirlwind Lance, Combat Frenzy, Sniper's Mark, Barrage, Wind Dancer. I do have the companion Rabid Dog here, which does have Haste Aura. It's also got lightning Mirages when hit, which I don't really see. I'm not sure if they are popping off or not, but either way, the dog has Haste Aura, which is very nice. And we also have Herald of Thunder. Pretty standard, like, Twister setup. The only difference is I'm not using Chill. This is Lightning Twisters. I just wanted to do something different. I do feel Chill is probably a little bit better, but hey, the Lightning Twisters are still working, they're still doing a lot of damage, so thought I might as well do a build on it. So for the Whirling Slash support, we do have Font of Rage, Cadence, I think that's how you say that, and Font of Mana. For Twister, we have Salvo, Retreat, Persistence, and Martial Tempo. Martial Tempo you don't really need here, it's just, you know, is boosting our damage by quite a significant amount, so that's why I put it there. Salvo, a bit of a no-brainer, it's going to give you more Twisters for free. And Retreat's pretty good since we're using Whirling Slash. We are getting that 25% increased damage with Twister. For Whirling Lance, we do have the new support gem that got added in with the recent update, Inhibitor. This is going to stop our Whirlwind Lance from consuming charges, which is great, which means all the charges that we generate is going to be for Barrage and dumping Twisters, as many Twisters as possible. We also have Pin support, we have Overpower support, and we also have Lockdown. Now, the main reason I've got Pin, Overpower, and Lockdown is this is not our main Frenzy Charge generator, but boy, does this help to generate Frenzy Charges when we're going through map. So all you really have to do is just unleash the Twisters, you know, maybe pop a Sniper's Mark, and just drop Whirlwind Lances into the enemy. You've got enough pin build up that it will pretty much 50-50 pin the enemy, and then you're just going to get 2 Frenzy Charges from Combat Frenzies. Whirlwind Lance just, for me, helps the build flow a lot better through map, being able to generate more Frenzy Charges with a very low budget requirement. I don't have any crazy uniques to give me more Frenzy Charges. I know there's definitely some really cool setups, but Whirlwind Lance is definitely helping me with my Frenzy Charge generation through maps, and then when you get the bosses, you just use like Sniper Mark. I felt like this setup for Whirlwind Lance works exceptionally well. Combat Frenzy, we just have Profusion and Precision. Precision is going to boost our damage a little bit because of the 30% increased accuracy, and Profusion is a bit of a no-brainer. We're just going to get additional charges. For Barrage, we have Premeditation, Perpetual Charge, Ingenuity, and also Twofold. Pretty standard setup with Barrage with Twisters. Barrage is the main way that we get a lot of our Twister damage because we're able to just shoot out so many extra Twisters. And then Twofold helps that even more. You basically just double the effect of the charges that you use. So if you use 3 or 4 Frenzy Charges, you have a 20% chance for that to just be doubled, which is kind of insane. Kind of insane if that procs on bosses as well. Wind Dancer, we got Cannibalism. We also got Blind, pretty self-explanatory here. Rabid Dog. The supports, I don't even know what to put on minions, to tell you the truth. I've got Minion Mastery, Last Gasp, and then Meat Shield, just to give the dog a little bit of survivability. His Haste Aura is quite nice. Would like to keep him up as long as possible. So I just thought this was the best way to do it. If there's anything If there's any other minion support that would probably be better, let me know. I've never done a minion build, so I have no clue what minion supports are actually good and what aren't. And then last but not least, we have the support for Herald of Thunder. I have Neural Overload, Electrocute, and also Innovate. Just trying out something. I saw someone post on Reddit talking about how to try and generate frenzy charges a bit more consistently with Combat Frenzy and using Herald of Thunder. They mentioned Neural Overload and Electrocute, which it's just going to prime the enemies ready for Electrocute so it can try and help you build frenzy charges more. I do notice that when I turn Herald of Thunder off, the frenzy charge generation is a little bit slower. I do feel like this is helping a little bit. It fills in the gaps when Whirlwind Lance isn't proccing the pin for you. I feel like Herald and Thunder and Whirlwind Lance do a really good job at keeping those frenzy charges up consistently. There's very few times you'll be going through maps and you won't have frenzy charges. So Herald and Thunder and I think Whirlwind Lance are definitely putting in some work. If they're not, let me know, but I think this is actually working the way I think it's supposed to be working. All right, let's move on over to my gear, and there's not much to talk about here, boys. My gear is pretty dog shit. Like, if you just look in my stash, I have no resources, no Exalt, no Divine, got some Regal, just got those bad boys out of a chest, but it's looking pretty grim over here, I tell you that much. I'm pushing Juiced Rare plus 15 maps, and I cannot get resources to fucking save my life. Someone put a gun to my head right now and get an Exalt in the map, I'm dead. I'm fucking dead. But either way, besides that, the gear's not really looking that great because everything's been crafted by these two hands, boys. I don't get enough Exalted to like build up like an inventory to then just go and buy stuff even if I wanted to. So I was like, fuck it, we're playing softcore solo self-found because it seems like that's the way the game wants us to play. But I will go over the one main item in this build. You definitely don't need this. There's plenty of other ways to create some kind of elemental ground, but man, the Wake of Destruction boots definitely help. So when you move with the Wake of Destruction boots, you do drop Lightning Ground. This lasts for 8 seconds, which is very generous. So while you're moving, you just Whirling Slash. It's going to automatically suck up that Lightning Elemental Ground. Then when you unleash your Tornadoes, boom, they're all lightning. Even if you just unleashed the Tornadoes and then kind of like ran around, they would also pick up all that Lightning Ground. You could really do that if you wanted to. But the Lightning Ground, while moving, is very helpful with the Wake of Destruction boot to just further make Whirling Slash and Twister gameplay feel even smoother without having to worry about an extra input of putting Elemental Ground on the ground first and then doing Whirling Slash and Twister. We can just Whirling Slash Twister all day, every day. We don't have to worry about putting the Elemental Ground on the ground. So Wake of Destruction boots are very handy in that regard. Now, the other thing I would talk about is a Sea Glass Spear. I'm sure we're all familiar with the Sea Glass Spear now. This motherfucker has 10% crit chance. Wow, every other spear has 5. Hey, I ain't complaining. At least we got a spear that has fat crit chance to give us fat damage earlier on without having to worry about getting perfect rolls. I do appreciate that. But yeah, the Sea Glass Spear trumps everything else until you get some like fat fucking spears. Like I said, my gear's pretty shit. I don't want to sit here and go over it because it's not even perfect rolled. There's nothing going on here. It's just what I could put together with what I've got. I really need more life. I really need more resistances. I need more evasion. I need fucking more of everything. But the biggest takeaway I think from playing Amazon Huntress is accuracy rating is now good. Oh yeah, because last season I played Monk, and if you saw accuracy rating roll on your gear, you just died of cringe. You just flatlined. You would, oh my god, fucking accuracy again. Now my gear is bricked. It's dead. Fucking throw it in the bin. But now when you play Amazon Huntress and you get accuracy, that shit makes your dick fucking hard. It gets you so excited when you see a fat roll of accuracy because it converts into attack speed and flat physical damage if you take the Ascendancy. So accuracy rating just became like fucking an S tier modifier to look out for on your gear because it does really boost the potential of Amazon Huntress. But besides a few bits of gear, everything else is dog shit. Like, I just need to further improve everything. But as long as you just go for like flat physical damage, like I've got more add physical damage, I've got add lightning damage, also got add fire damage here. I really want add cold damage, just haven't got it. The Wake of Destruction boots definitely help, but like I said, you don't need them. There's plenty of other setups that you can try. Like I said, I will leave plenty of links down in the description and comment section. Go check out those guys' builds. They have different flavors, different setup. Maybe something there might actually tickle your pickle. For the passive tree, not going to dwell on this too much. It's very, very similar to probably a lot of other Huntress passive trees you're seeing, either using Twister, even Lightning Spear. I think some people that are building out Lightning Spear do come down this way to get the extra accuracy and some of the skill effect duration and cooldown recovery stuff as well. But I will still post a build planner for you guys, so you don't have to keep coming back to this video. Save you guys a hell of a lot of time, and saves me a hell of a lot of time because I don't have to explain the skill tree as much. The only thing I do want to mention is accuracy is king for Huntress if you are taking the Amazon Ascendancy tree, because we have Penetrate. Penetrate gives us flat physical damage based on 25% of our accuracy rating of the weapon. Definitely one thing I've seen with a lot of Huntress passive skill trees is just take that accuracy, get that accuracy rating up, because it does give you flat physical damage and it does give you more crit chance as well, which is crazy. I need more defensive. I feel like taking some stun threshold would be pretty good. I do have evasion. Freedom of movement is really good. I really like this passive. You know, we still went up and got stuck through. This is arguably the strongest crit cluster on the board. I still took the Herald because we are running Herald of Thunder. I might take these points out of here. I'm not sure if we really need this. Might be better off somewhere else, but the 50% increased lightning damage is pretty big. The other thing is movement speed. I could come back up here and I might later on and grab more movement speed. But we do still have a fair bit of movement speed. We got movement speed here. There's movement speed over here. We've got movement speed on acceleration. Having movement speed just feels so good. You can just strafe out of the enemy's attacks very easily. Not all the attacks, but most attacks you can just move out of the way very easily if you have enough movement speed. Now moving on over to the Ascendancy tree. My first Ascendancy, I went with Predatory Instinct. This is just really strong to help get through those bosses and rares a little bit quicker while you're trying to like build your gear and build your economy up if you can. Then I went and got Critical Strikes. This is very strong late game, but it is still pretty strong earlier on. As soon as I slotted this in, I got like, I know, like 1,000, 2,000 damage. And then Penetrate was my third point. This is insanely strong. As soon as I slotted this in with the accuracy I had at that time, I gained 4k damage. Yeah, Penetrate's no joke. This gets even stronger late game as you can stack more accuracy and you can get more accuracy rolls on your weapon and you corrupt it for more accuracy. Like, I feel like some people are going to have insane amounts of accuracy and Penetrate is going to be giving them insane amount of flat physical damage. But yeah, that is basically the passive skill tree and the Ascendancies. Oh, I forgot my jewels. The jewels, I just have whatever I fucking can roll at the moment. I do have some pretty decent ones. Crit chance, attack speed. My other emerald one over here is more attack speed, damage with spears, damage with herald. And then I've got my third jewel slot down here, which is pretty good. This is a good one that I managed to get stun build up, attack damage, and also global physical damage increase. So very, very strong jewel for this particular setup. And yeah, that is basically it, guys. Hopefully this build video did help you out. It's nothing special. It's not the best fucking Huntress build out there, Huntress Twister build out there. But it worked for me. It was very solo self-found friendly for any of the actual solo self-found league people out there. This is very easy to put together. I am definitely enjoying myself in this season. It's a fucking rough slog at the start, but once you get into endgame, the mapping feels a lot better. There's a lot more stuff to do, more content in the maps. It does feel a lot more enjoyable going through the maps, and you see a lot more different bits of content pop up and you get excited to go over there and do it. So the mapping does feel better. Huntress actually does feel pretty good at endgame. And yeah, I'm just overall having a good time with this league now. The start was pretty shitty, but it definitely feels a hell of a lot better when you do get to endgame. Shouldn't be that way, but at least the endgame is definitely improved, and you know it's just going to happen to the campaign eventually. But yeah, hopefully this build video did help you guys out. Appreciate all the love and support as always, and until next time, stay safe, peace out.